What's up, guys? Welcome to BBB, Bolt by Bolt Productions. I'm Slav.
And this is Ivan, and that's my car.
Ivan is the mechanic here, so today I'm going to be working on a Subaru WRX.
No, it's a 2.5 RS with a WRX engine in there.
Swapped by Ivan.
Yes.
And as you can tell right now, there's a lot of clutch issues, but that speedometer not moving, even though the car is driving.
Yes, that's technical difficulties.
I'm sorry about the video coverage, very shaky. But we're going to show you today is full how to swap a car out one man. And we're going to show you the oil we use, which is Mobile One. You want to talk about the oil that you bought?
I got it because I couldn't get my hands on some AMs, so I just picked up some Mobile One. It was okay.
Okay, what Mobile One did you get?
Huh?
What kind of Mobile One? Like Mobile One?
Just regular Mobile One 75 W90, I think it was.
Okay, so if you're doing a Subaru swap, get that.
Yeah.
Now, we'll start off for the noobs. This is a new project, so first thing you want to do is jack your car up, as obvious as everybody knows.
Yeah. And put jack stands under your car always. You don't want a car to fall on you.
Absolutely. So we're just giving you a quick video of what to do. This is what happens when you have blown shocks.
Hella. No, that's hella flush. So I drive my car every day.
Yeah. So just what you want to do is what we recommend is lift it as high as possible.
Yep.
Because the higher you lift it, the easier it'll be to go underneath and get
very
parts
accessible.
out.
See how comfortable I am in there?
Yeah, that's Ivan, just as you guys know. So you want to lift it up. Ivan lifted up the whole car, front and rear.
By myself, no jacks, no jack.
Yeah. As you can tell, also we're gonna replace some gaskets, which we won't show in the video, maybe later. But this chain's leaking. Where's that leaking from?
Out of the axle seals.
Okay. So the first thing you want to do is drain the fluid from the transmission.
And usually gets pretty messy. As you can see, I'm unscrewing the hex key. It's a T70 bolt. I mean, hex key.
And there's sexy Ivan.
That beard.
Nice. Yeah, well, we trying to drain the fluid out right away. It will save you time because while you take the parts off, the fluid won't come out.
It's just messy. It's never a clean process.
Okay. And there's a nice, beautiful Hyundai Sonata in the background and a Mazda 626.
Turbo, fully built.
Yeah. But so once the oil comes out, when the oil is draining, first try taking your tires off. Don't do what we did here.
Yeah.
First, loosen the bolts before you lift the car up. Or press the brakes instead of having somebody hold it on the other side, like we noobs figured out.
I mean, you can do whatever you want.
Okay, after you take tires off, there's gonna be a center hole bolt. Do you know what size it was?
Axle nut, I wasn't too sure. I think it was a 32mm, but I'm not too sure.
Okay.
Check with your manufacturer.
Yeah. So take it out. However you do it, that's up to you. This when it comes out, that's what you do. And after that, behind the brake caliper, there's gonna be two bolts right there. We have a better shot for you. Just move them out. You know, come on. It's very simple. Just watch the video, you figure it out. This is also for a brake job. So if you guys want to do a brake job, just follow these instructions. What I'll probably do is I'll probably cut the kip loop in two then.
And
remove the pads.
Yeah, remove the pads. Sorry. And then you want to remove inspect the pads, making sure they're not cracked or anything like that. But mine were, but I still put them back. And you take a 17 ratcheting wrench and you take a hammer and you want to hit the wrench a couple times so it breaks loose.
Right. This is a shot underneath the Subaru. What it should look like. Beaten.
Yep. And blown.
Struts.
No.
Engine mounts. Ivan, shut up! I'm not a mechanic. All right, so so you want to remove the two bolts from the back.
Yeah.
Let's get back to the story. Yeah. This will take that part off. We'll just slide right off, and then boom.
Yeah, the caliper bracket, and then and you remove the rotor.
Inspect it.
Inspect it. Yeah. Make sure there's no cracks.
Now you want to tell them something about this rotor real quick?
This is actually an upgraded rotor and caliper. It's off the Legacy 2.5 GT. And that was a 14-inch foot. 14-inch foot.
So that's not normal. Yeah. Now, the process is normal. Listen, just follow the instructions. All the aftermarket stuff is aftermarket. Next step is there's gonna be two bolts that hold the
strut down, and with
the
wheel bearing assembly or the hub assembly. Yeah, it's held on by two bolts, and then you can remove the axle now.
After you take the two bolts off the top.
Remove the two bolts,
Yes, it's going to be easy. We'll show you another video. It's a little further up. We're doing the passenger side right now.
Yeah, we're removing the axle now.
That's all. Just push it back.
Yeah.
And it should go. See, we're going to do the same thing on the side. We're going to talk about a couple things. When you're taking the 2 bolts off the 17, you're gonna need a ratchet and you're gonna need 2 tools to take top bolts off.
As you can see, I put an extension on my ratcheting wrench because it's impossible to do it by hand.
Yeah, this is the same bolts on the other side now.
And mark them if you are worried about alignment, because one bolt is a solid bolt and one has a lobe on it, like the bottom one on there, and that adjusts your camber. If you don't align it, then you're gonna have either a really horrible camber or positive camber or negative camber.
Yeah.
So you don't want.
Typically, when you remove axles out, you have to take off like a ball bearing, a wheel bearing or something in the back, something that holds it, because axles typically don't come out this easy, as I haven't demonstrated. But so we're showing you the easy way for Subarus. I don't know how it is for other cars. If you're doing it,
front-wheel drive cars will be like similar. Rear-wheel drive cars, you won't have an axle.
Right. So for Subaru, this is how you do it. As you can see, we're taking the 2 bolts off, a little more detailed video. Pain in the butt, obviously. Try not to hammer it like that because you ruin the threads.
Yeah, you can ruin the threads, but
we did it.
Yeah. We're professionals. We know what we're doing.
Okay, this is just a better video. You can see.
I removed the bracket for the brake line and the ABS sensor. Don't do what I did.
Yeah, we'll show you. Yeah. We got all video. Damn. Yeah. Pretty simple.
The struggles there. Yeah.
That's the oil brake line.
This is the brake line. Yeah, see, as you can see, I can. Those are. Yeah, that was a 10 millimeter.
10 millimeter. Just take that off.
I put the bolt back in. Thread the bolt back into the hole, and then it should stay there. You shouldn't lose it. And remove the axle. Maxle. Yep. All right, and now you shouldn't use this tool, but I did because my axles pop out really easily. But in some cars, you need like a fork-styled prying tool, and you need to you have to impact it almost with a hammer, because it won't come out because there's a little C-clamp at the end. See, on mine, it just literally just falls out.
Why is it, Ivan? Is it because Subarus are crappy cars?
No, because it's well engineered, and all them launches that you have to do, so you might want to replace a couple axles once in a while. So make it easy for you.
And that's it. That's how you move an axle from a car. That's very simple. Anybody can do it on a Subaru.
And these axles did over 150 launches, and they're still OEM perfect.
Do the same thing on the other side.
Yep, same thing on the other side. But don't use this tool. Yeah, you might bend the the coupling for the axle. But like I said, mine was very, very easy to remove because I removed it multiple times. And use a fork-styled axle removal tool.
There it comes.
Look at that beauty. Yep. See, and check for your that boot right there. Sometimes it'll seep grease out of there, so you might want to either replace the boot or just replace the axle.
All right, now you guys need to start paying attention. This is how you take the transmission off the car. There's gonna be 4 bolts inside.
No. For Subaru, there's 7 bolts. I don't know why they did it. They always done it this way. I don't know why they did 7. They could have made it 6 or 8.
Yeah, I tried to get a good shot. I'm sorry for interrupting. I tried to get a good shot, but it literally is going to be like 7 bolts that go around the case. You probably can see more in the shot. I'm just trying to take them off. I'm trying to get nice footage of it.
Right now, I'm removing the starter. There's 2 bolts to it, and there's one little. No, there's 2 wires running it. One that goes to the relay, and one that runs, like the main power to it, to the actual starter.
There's also a better video. You'll see this. Yeah. Trust me, I got
all
the footage. I got all the footage, guys. Called bolt by bolts for a reason. How long did it take you to do this job while you're removing these bolts quite lamely? How long did it take us to do this whole entire swap?
This whole swap? I actually wasn't sure.
I think it was like 7-8 hours. Ivan by himself doing everything.
Yep. And that was because of recording videos and just taking our time. I wasn't even wearing shoes at the time. But wear shoes. It's you don't want to drop a wrench on your foot or anything. Or a transmission. Yes.
He's still taking bolts off the transmission right now. It's gonna take. It's a process. I was trying to show him on video where they're all located because it's hard to record bolts and not be having his hand in the way. It's impossible. There's some. This is gonna be on the right side of the transmission.
Bottom right side.
There's 1, 2, and then there's like 2 in the bottom.
Right underneath the turbo. You want.
Boom.
Yeah. The.
Yeah, just showing you all the bolts were located. I'm sorry for the bad footage, but guys, it's better than no footage, right? See, you see one right there? There's one, guys. Here's a better shot.
I think this is the side on the turbo side.
Yeah.
And right underneath the turbo, there's for the bolt that I'm unscrewing right now. There's a one bolt above that one, and
Right.
and for that one you might want to pry the turbo a little bit to remove it. Well, as you can see, I'm unscrewing some more.
Yeah. Now don't leave one bolt in there.
Yeah, for the bottom, you might want to leave those two. There's like pins that come from the engine, like bolts that run from the engine. All it is a nut it's a nut on the transmission side and a bolt that comes out of there. It's like alignment. It's like a sliding alignment and what do you call it? Everything else like that. And
This is the starter.
Yeah.
Oh, boom.
yeah, remove your top mount. I put different aftermarket bolts on mine, so it's a 13 socket 13, but usually it's 12. And there's 2 on each side, and then there's a hose that goes onto the turbo outlet you might want to remove, and to the intake manifold where your throttle body is. And
There you go.
Yeah.
There's the hose. Yeah, we're showing you everything,
Yeah.
guys, step by step. So take the bolts off the tranny, leave 2 on,
Yep.
and then go on top of your car, start taking out the intercooler.
Yep.
If you just follow this, it's exactly every single bolt needs to come out. It can't be more harder than that. If you have questions, don't ask us. I don't know. Ivan does. He's
Yeah,
not on YouTube.
ask me.
What are these hoses you're moving right here?
This is for the
25 plus horsepower thing.
yeah. No, shoot. It's
Don't worry.
it's air oil separator. It's the crankcase ventilation hoses. But as you can see, I have aftermarket piping for the top mount.
Doesn't help. I still beat him.
We never raced. As you can see, it's a Mishimoto silicone one.
What's that orange stuff inside of there?
That's just
That's called Subaru rustage.
no. That's actually.
Okay, start.
Super.
Okay. Alright, this is the starter
this is
I
the
was
starter.
talking about.
Yeah.
This is the top view of the car.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm interrupting.
And that's a 14. It's like a 14 on there. It's the easiest way to get the top one off. You can just remove it by the top. Yeah, this is the first thing you should do, not the middle thing you should do. As it go back to the starter. Yeah, first thing you want to do is you want to unplug the battery before you work on your car. I mean, you don't want anything to spark and burn things. Yeah, you just don't want to burn your car down. Yeah. Yeah, right now I'm taking off the main feed to the starter. And it's also a 12. And there was a little relay wire. All you have to do is tug on it.
Yeah, he's doing smart underneath, and I'm trying to course on the top because 2 of us underneath was not comfortable. But it should be just 2 bolts in the back, correct? 1 ground and 1 power.
On the back,
The one right now you're removing is the power.
it's the main power, but the relay activates the actual
Right there,
mechanism.
What is that right now you're removing? Oh
That's-
no, you
that-
put the bolt back on. I'm
yeah.
sorry.
That's the main feed power, the main power that runs to the starter. See,
Yeah, there's also gonna be a bolt underneath
Yep,
that he's doing
underneath.
right now.
it's easier to just go underneath the car and unbolt it, and then remove from underneath.
It's very simple
Yeah.
if you just go underneath the car.
Yeah. That's why you jack it up nice and high.
Okay, yep, there you go.
And I rebuilt that starter too. That one looks a little bit bigger because that's an automatic Subaru starter. Took it off the automatic one and put it on the manual one. And this you would probably need to remove the dog. It's called a dog bone, so it keeps the engine from going front to back. Just bolt that one and loosen this one. So and all you have to do is then just lift it up. And it just stays there, just like that. And don't mind the wiring. That's
If your wire looks like that, you can take it to a garage. The reason we're wiring this up is this is an engine swap thing here. So probably don't need a lot of them, correct?
Well, there's 2 there I wanted to hook up, but didn't really care to. Those are reverse lights, and this is the what I'm removing is the slave cylinder for the clutch, and this is a push style slave cylinder.
Just shove it in there somewhere.
Yeah, just kind of just tuck it back.
Right there, it's right on
Yeah.
top of the transmission. You kind of tell the
And
video.
there-
Turbo time.
Yep, not turbo time. That's my baby, my little baby turbo. It's TD04. Very interesting turbo. I had to rebuild it because it went down. And yeah, I think there is about 6 bolts holding the turbo down. Yeah, and the bolts are pretty rusty, so you need to throw on some keys on there and wrench away at it. Don't be afraid to punch things while you're down there, because that will happen.
We did not know this, but we have like magnetic plates, and those bolts around the exhaust, they lose the
magnetism.
The magnetism, yes.
Yeah, when they get superheated.
So they don't stick to anything, which is great when you throw them at people, because they won't stick to anything. No, but okay, so you gotta move all these turbo bolts.
Yeah, and this is the ball I was talking about. You have to pry the, not pry, you can just take it with your hand if it's, see what I mean? And just wiggle it around so you can get the bolt out.
Oh, because the turbo's interfering more? Okay.
Yeah, it interferes by like a millimeter. And don't put your wrenches on your, that thing, because it'll scratch it up, but...
Back to taking off the turbo bolt.
Yep. Turbo goodies. I actually lost this bolt not too long ago. I was driving my car, I checked it out, the bolt was not there.
Aha! It's called the Subaru.
They weren't OEM bolts, that's why they didn't stay on.
Oh yes, leave one nut on top of it, because you have to go underneath the car, and we're gonna start taking stuff off from underneath the car.
I'm not sure what this is.
This is a bracket for the exhaust.
Oh yeah.
Okay, this is the first exhaust. Once that's turbo all apart, leave one bolt on, nut on there. Go under anything and start taking the exhaust off. Find the bracket.
This is actually the downpipe. There's a there's just one bolt here. You gotta pry it off. It's kind of a pain sometimes, but I got used to it, so it's not too bad. And it's like a latch almost. Like it's on a hook.
Yeah. I'm sorry about the bad footage.
Yeah.
What is this thing called?
And this is the downstream O2 sensor. It's very, very long. You just connect it from the top. And these are the 2 bolts that connects to your mid pipe from your down pipe. Just unbolt those 2. They're gonna be very rusty. So yeah, it might break while you're doing it.
Because the Subaru would.
Because there's an immense amount of heat from the amount of times I just drive it hard and it gets superheated. And so those bolts love to rust.
Whoa, who's that?
Sexy man, that's what it is.
Jeez, that almost looks like a mechanic. Just to let you guys know, I am not a mechanic. I try not to be a mechanic, so don't listen to anything I say. Listen to everything Ivan says in this video. I just watched and recorded.
Remember your lefty loosies and your righty tighties. It helps.
Yeah.
Take off bolts.
The reason why you need to take this exhaust off because we're gonna be dropping that transmission down.
Yep. And this aftermarket exhaust is a good bit bigger than your factory one, and it just makes it easier. And replace your gaskets too.
As you can tell, very beautiful.
They're
what?
They're pretty. They get pretty beat up after a while.
Yeah, because it's a Subaru. Now, when you get that 2 full bolts off, go up top, take off that one bolt that you had kind of loose, and then the downpipe should just come right off.
Yep, and that's an aftermarket NVIDIA downpipe.
It gave a plus 40 horsepower, he said. My ass.
Maybe 50, without a tune.
Okay, now this is where the recording got really hard. What he's doing right now is he's taking off the subframe, the whole what's the proper name for this?
This like.
It's the bracket.
Yeah, it's the bracket.
If you're under the car right now, we're watching this video. You should be able to tell where it's at. I'm gonna try to zoom out. I had a horrible lens on the camera. I'm sorry.
Yeah, there's about 8 bolts that remove the whole bracket, but you loosen up. What I'm unloosening, taking off right now is the center bolts that are attached to the actual transmission mount, and you loosen those up first, and then. Yeah, you just loosen them up, and then you loosen up these. Gotta zoom out or something.
Okay, yeah. Sorry, the camera lens is zooming in and out.
Yeah.
Okay, what it is if you're on the car, it's a bracket bolt. Like you're gonna see it. It's not that hard to see if you're on the car. You're gonna see exactly where we're at if you just go underneath and look at it.
And right now I'm unbolting the drive shaft, the center piece.
Yeah. Okay, the drive shaft is the shaft that goes from the transmission
to the rear diff.
To the rear diff. I did not know this, but a Nissan 350Z comes with a carbon fiber OEM drive shaft.
Subaru is a rally car, so they need steel. They don't need it to explode when you're doing all that off-roading.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Okay, so it's 2 bolts in each side. What this bracket does, what does it actually do? Can you let everybody know? Because I don't know what it does.
What, the bracket?
Yes.
It just aligns the drive shaft and keeps it. That's actually a center bearing on there too. It keeps it balanced somewhat. And this is the rear of the. This is at the end of the car. This is still the drive shaft. It connects. That's a diff back there too. And there's 4 bolts, 4 nuts. You gotta loosen up.
Yeah, if you don't know what drive shaft is, Google map it. Picture it. Don't Google map it either. Just do a Google image. It's very simple. I mean, we expect you to know some basics to car mechanics. And if you don't,
and
that's
the drive
okay.
shaft will fall on you, so be prepared. And there's gonna be some juices as you pull out the axle out of its slippy yoke.
Right. So what you do is, okay, there's 4 bolts on the drive shaft. Take the 2 bolts off and then put the car back on neutral and spin the tire.
Spin the tires.
Yeah, and then it's gonna move the axle and then take the other 2 bolts off. And then to take it out, all you gotta do is drop a little bit in the rear and pull it out. Just pull it from the transmission. It should slide right out.
And this is the stay arm I'm removing right now. There's a little 12mm bolt, a nut, and a bracket plate thing. I don't know. It looks like something else supposed to be on there, but I don't know.
This is right where the transmission meets. That what do you call it, goes right into there.
That's the slip yoke end of the drive shaft.
Slip yoke. That is not a sexual comment either.
And what I'm removing right now is the shift linkage. There's also 2 12s in there. And
That's the. I'm sorry, real quick. That's the bracket.
Yep.
That is the bracket we're talking about. As you can see, the transmission, it's just kind of held on by a few bolts. He's still loosening it out. This is the full bracket right here.
Yeah, that's the whole bracket. Yeah, like I said, unbolt the actual transmission mount from the actual bracket, and then all you have to do is jack up the transmission and loosen up. There's 6 bolts that hold this whole bracket. 2 in the front are 19s, and in the back they're 14s. There's 4 14s. Yeah.
What are you doing there, Ivan?
I'm just, I don't know, looking for tools.
Oh.
There we go.
Is it gonna hit him?
It probably will.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, it should just fall off that simply.
Yeah. It's very light, so.
Yeah, just remember, you have to put a jack on the transmission, or the transmission's gonna fall with it upon you.
And if your engine mounts are completely shot like mine, they will sag and hit you pretty good. So,
That is the engine mount bolts right there. The 2 bottom
transmission
ones.
mount.
Yeah, transmission mount. I'm sorry.
And that's an upgraded Group N STI transmission mount. That's Lava got me. So.
Now you gotta remove the last 2 bolts on the transmission that you had.
Yep.
Wherever they're at, just take them off.
Yep. And this is probably on a fresh engine and transmission removal or whatever, which way you're doing it. You might want to put a spatula in there first and open it up slowly. That's what I had to do the first time I changed out my clutch because it wouldn't pry. But what I did is you just put a screwdriver in there, a really thin one, and you work your way up to a really thick crowbar.
Yeah, and you gotta remember something. Ivan's doing this all by himself. If you're one guy, you can probably do this, but you have to be like 240 plus and lift 300 pounds. But this is Ivan doing this all by himself. So what he's pretty much doing, the basics, is he's just gonna jiggle it out.
Yep. That's literally what you do. You just literally jiggle it out.
Jiggle, 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 jiggle.
But
But
as you can see on the right side, it's getting held down because the turbo is still catching the transmission bell housing, and so you need to kind of pry it at the same time. And it's just a mess. You just have to have someone kind of coordinate you through it. See, it's almost out. This transmission probably weighs like 100 pounds, so, and that don't work out. And that's my eBay clutch I have in there. This is actually my second clutch. I highly don't recommend eBay clutches ever. They were saying this clutch can hold up to 250 wheel horsepower. The first time I went for a drive, it didn't even hold up like anything. As soon as my turbo started spooling, it just let go.
Yeah, guys, don't ever buy anything from eBay unless you're retarded.
Yeah.
Unless it's OEM.
Unless it's rated at 1,000 horsepower, then it's rated at 250.
Or if it's
a
OEM.
yeah.
Okay, now watch this. This is how you take out transmission by yourself. You put it on your chest. This is live, people. Not live, but this is real life. Look at that baby.
It's my baby.
This one man can't do this job.
Yeah, you can. If you're my size, yes.
Oh, there he goes. So I mean that's pretty much basics to moving transmission. Obviously, we're kind of like going through this really fast because if you have basics understanding, you'll know what's going on here.
And don't wear a white shirt to work. It's a bad idea. Because you get really dirty.
Oh yeah. What are you saying there, Ivan?
I don't know.
Oh, he's smiling. He's happy.
It's probably complimenting the transmission. I was like, oh, you lost some weight.
All right. This is where the clutch is at.
Yep.
What are you doing here, Ivan?
I'm unbolting the bolts of the actual pressure plate. And in the center, it's going to be a clutch plate. So you might want to keep your hand pressed against it so nothing falls on you. And lean it back. And that's the flywheel.
Flywheel right there. He's pointing at it.
And that's clutch debris.
eBay.
That's eBay quality on all over your car. And what you want to do before you install your that's Lava's foot. What you want to do before you we'll see, my clutch didn't last too long, so I'd recommend you to get your flywheel milled or yeah, basically they just resurface it. They just cut a chunk off the flywheel, make it smooth completely. But mine only had like probably 2,000 miles on this clutch, and it didn't wear out anything. The clutch just went itself. It just didn't do anything. So you use brake parts cleaner, you clean that off, and that's the new throwout bearing I'm putting on. And yeah, I had to make a little Rowan, my friend, made me a little custom bracket thing to hold that in.
Yeah, but they don't really need to know this.
Yeah.
If you're doing a clutch swap, this is kind of like extra stuff he's doing. Don't worry about this yet, unless you're doing a throwout bearing.
Yeah, throwout bearing, that's the lever. It's like a fork lever. A little bit strong.
Yes. Notice how he's playing with it.
Yeah. I like my
yes.
I like my throwout bearings.
Yes, throw out that bearing. Ah, what are you doing under that car? What are you staring at?
At the flywheel.
Oh yeah. Oh, what are you inserting?
I'm inserting the what do you call it? That's a Exetti Racing Stage 1 clutch. And that is, I'm inserting the clutch plate into the splines of the clutch plate. Well, there's an alignment, that's an alignment tool in the center, and that aligns the whole thing together. At first, you insert it into the splines, and then at the tip, it inserts into the flywheel bearing. There's like a little bearing, pilot bearing, and then that's what keeps it center. And then you put on your pressure plate right onto there.
Now, is there a special way of doing the pressure plate?
Yes. The bolt up pattern, you have to do it clockwise or counterclockwise. You can't do a star pattern because it has to lay the pressure plate. Those fins that you see right there, they have to be laid down in a clockwise fashion or counterclockwise fashion, so it doesn't bind up the fins. And if you try to drive your car with those things binded, you can like shatter your clutch plate. Yeah.
He's not
clutch this.
Yeah, he'll show you in a couple seconds in the video what he's talking about.
And I highly recommend you not to over torque your bolts. What I did is I upgraded all the bolts for the flywheel because mine snapped, and I just got like the highest grade ones, and you just can torque it as hard as you want after that. But yeah, check your torque specs for each bolt and torque spec them. Circular fashion.
Yeah. For the clutch, there's actually like little dimples or like nipples that stick out of the flywheel that you put it on.
I think they call it dowel pins.
Yeah. Well, I call them nipples. I mean, whatever you just
dimples.
Sits in there.
Okay. Yeah.
And that's how you know where it goes. That's that. If people wondering how does it go in there.
Yeah. There's like multiple alignment marks on there, so it's really easy.
Yeah. So you go counterclockwise like this.
Yeah.
And that's. I'm sorry.
And what you do here is you keep on going around in a circle, like you slowly lay it down in a clockwise fashion until you're satisfied with the amount of torque in there, or the amount of torque they recommend you to put on.
Right, and then you just pop that thing out, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah, you pull out the alignment tool, and then you put back the transmission.
You just go backwards. To start this video, one time speed in reverse.
Yeah, are you gonna do that or?
Oh, am I gonna rewind it? No, guys. I mean, look, if you got that far, you can put everything back on now and take it out for a test drive. We're gonna show you a little test drive video then, but that's pretty much the basics of how to do a clutch on a Subaru WRX
It's a 2.5 RS body shell, but the engine is a WRX engine, off an 03 WRX.
It's nothing impressive.
It really isn't.
All right, guys. Well,
I can beat a 350Z.
What's the All right, guys. Well, appreciate watching this video. We're gonna have a shiz ton of comments, obviously, because we're kind of trying to like we had a really bad lens and stuff. So shoot the comments if you want. Obviously, hit me up with the mechanical questions because Ivan doesn't know anything. He only did the swap. I did the video footage.
Yep.
And we'll go from there. So enjoy.
All right, guys.